John, day 2 and day 3, let's talk about day 2 first of all. Just get your thoughts on it. Right decision in the end was to stop the session or
They tried
even
everything
start
there.
it. Yeah.
I mean, you can only listen to your weatherman and look at the sky, can't you? And to be fair, I've raced here for since '96, and I'm thinking it's not happening. And actually, I come in hospitality and had a big stinking burger, and I thought, definitely not happening tonight. I'll have a burger. And then they said, no, it's going to happen. And the burger was just stuck about there. I thought, well, it's going because it just went hot, went really warm, and conditions were good. I think a couple of usual damp patches, and we actually got to the road, didn't we? And we got, I even got my helmet on, ready to go, and then a few short, sharp showers, and that's we can't change Mother Nature, and that was the right decision in the end not to run it. And it was weird. I had some friends out on the track, so they were soaked at Bray Hill. I mean, we were dry here, and it was soaked. Yeah. Just Isle of Man. It has its own mind. But yeah, no, give the lads a bit of a rest, I suppose, because the bikes tomorrow were prepped to go, so and boys have been flat out. So I've had a shite day today. We've been flipping motorhome, so fridge stopped working, telly stopped working, and the fire stopped working. It's cold. It's 300 quid of the food in the fridge. And no telly. I just bought one of them Starlink things, which cost me a fortune. 80 quid a month to get all the right TV job on. So all that's not working, so this morning it was nearly a divorce. But thankfully a friend in the paddock. We had the fridge out, we had the fire out. Wow, I just wanted a chill day, but it was a rubbish day. But then we got to play on the bikes. So,
well, let's talk about playing on the bikes. So you, first of all, went out on the Superbike, 129.2?
Yeah.
Fourth in the session? Happy with that?
Yeah, I think we're sort of 2 mile an hour faster than we were the first night. The other boys are 2 mile an hour faster, but hey, 30s, 31s, 29s, we're in the mix, we're definitely in the mix. It was hard work, really, really tough again. It was... there was nowhere where you could relax, It was still second night, so everybody's still a bit rusty, and the wind was shocking. It was weird wind as well. It sort of gave you a push into a couple of places where you weren't expecting it. The left-hander before the veranda, the left-hander before the bungalow. So there was a couple of real bits that could really catch you out. So first lap I was a bit steady, sort of rode like the district nurse a bit on the first lap, and then the second lap I got my head down a bit where I knew what the patches were and where to expect the wind, so I had a bit of a bash on the second lap. 129.2, happy with that. I am genuinely happy with that. Stocker was flying. Some of my sectors were matched on the Stocker than I did on the Superbike from a standing start, so that was really good. And she stopped just coming out of Hilbury, so it's not major, but yeah, she just switched herself off, so it's got a little issue. So it's good though. I sat with the crowd at Signpost, watched the boys. Quite interesting, some interesting lines, and even watched Ben do that 118 mile an hour lap on the sidecar, which was new passenger there, was super impressive. So yeah, all in all, it's a positive night really. Definitely learning the bike, figuring it all out. Yeah, it's just a shame. We've been spoilt last year. This wind is the light was really nice. Overcast but good, so one giving that strobe lighting, but obviously the wind was quite tough, quite physical to ride the bike. But another 3 laps under my belt, we're safe and sound, sleep on it tonight, see what tomorrow brings.
Are you feeling comfortable with the setup? Because I know the other night you were saying that the Superbike was a bit too, I think you said it was a bit too
edgy,
soft,
a bit flighty, maybe a bit stiff.
You feel like you've made a bit of progress with both?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Superbike feels a little bit. It's weird. It felt a little bit unstable tonight, but it may have been the wind. I don't know. You can go round in circles. You never get a perfect bike around here. You've got to get something where the happy medium is where you are, and it just felt. But they start to become a handful. When you're around the 29s, 30s, and 31s, you're not. It's not.
Not hanging about.
No. Yeah. You're battering along, and you've got to put that bike where it needs to be going, and sometimes they feel they feel like something's wrong, but they're not. You know what I mean? You've got to just keep riding, and it's a bit of me as well. It's funny that the last lap on the Supersport bike. I said to myself, just ride the bike, let the bike do the work. I'm trying to make things happen, and it was a more of a flowing lap, and I was breathing more and just sort of. I just felt an easier lap, you know, and to go at the same speed. So I need to just tell myself, all the years I've raced here, I still need to tell myself to, you know, just wind your neck in a little bit and try and chill out a little bit. Sometimes you can't force it around here, you've got to let it happen. And, sleep on it, and tomorrow's a new day.
One question I do want to ask, the split throttle bodies on the Fireblade, the latest update, how do they feel around here? Because obviously on the short circuit they seem to be working. What is it like around the TT course?
I like them. You know, your Quarter Bridge, your Brandon Bridge, they're not as aggressive, they're not spinning as much, they're not wheeling as much. But I asked the boys to take a little bit of power out of first, second and third, and it probably took too much power out of it. It was a little bit flat. I was like, and like it wasn't really going. But I really like them. I get why they're on the bike. I understand. I mean, they've been doing that for years in World Superbike, and they do it for one reason, is to get the traction down and make it a little bit easier on the rider. And I used them a bit last year, but we used it in the start a different way. We used it electronically. This is done a different way, how it's supposed to be, because it's on the standard bike. So yeah, just a shame the Honda's a little bit narrower at the front for me. If it just had a little bit bigger fairing, I think it'd just be a little bit easier. But we'll, again, spent hours today just making it a bit wider, and it's a bit of a restriction for us. But like the BM's bloody huge at the front and stuff, so these are a bit narrower. But like I say, Dean had an issue on the first night. He's changed it for tonight, and he's really, really happy with and I'm happy as well with where we are. So we can't complain at all. You know, the BM went through speed trap at 2:05 tonight, so I think I did 190. So you know, a bit of a way off that, really. A bit frustrating, a bit annoying, really. I don't know, but you know, if you're giving 15 mile an hour away everywhere, it's you know, you're always going to be struggling. It's not rocket science, you know. You're not just a Sulby straight. They're doing 2:05. They're doing it Crosby into Greebird, down from the Craig up the mountain miles. So we'll just have another look at it tomorrow. We'll look at some squiggly lines tomorrow, some data, and just try and get them to go a bit faster. And that's it, really.
What are the plans for tomorrow? Full time on the Superbike, or
I don't even know.
What is just going to?
What's out first?
Whatever they say, you're doing it.
I think Superbike's the animal. Superbike's the one. You know, they're the two big 6-lap races, and the Stockers are 3-lap races. You can sort of hang in there for 3 laps, but them six laps, double the length, another pit stop. It's hard, you know. So they're the ones that need the work. And so it'd be more concentrating on the Superbike, I would have thought. And then if I can get another lap on the Stocker, that's all right. That'd be good.
Spot on. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Cheers.
And we'll catch up with you tomorrow. Jamie,
Yeah.
big sigh of relief there. After day 2 and day 3, let's just quickly talk about yesterday.
Yeah.
Nothing happened other than standing on the start line for a good half an hour. Right decision, though, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think it was, to be fair. I think it's might have been a bit of a blessing in disguise, really, because out there tonight, obviously it's on day 3, but out there tonight there's still patches in places and it's still a bit damp in places, and I think if we were gone yesterday it'd probably been even worse than what it is tonight, you know. So yeah, I think in hindsight, for me, I think it's probably been a blessing in disguise we didn't go last night. Obviously it's a shame for the fans and stuff and the organisers and all that, but it's I think it was a bit of a blessing in disguise.
Let's move on to tonight then. Positive evening for you, let's say. Let's start off with the trumpet, second quickest in that session.
Yeah, we're
happy?
Yeah, really happy with that, to be fair. Yeah, we did that was a standing start lap as well, which like I said, second fastest, so we were really happy with that, you know. It's a new bike for us this year, so we're still working through things and getting things sorted. No, we changed the gearing a little bit tonight and it were pretty good, but probably not as good as it could be, so we're making another change there. And then obviously now we're going a little bit quicker, the suspension's a little bit off, not a million miles away because we won't be doing the pace we are doing, but it's a few little tweaks and changes ready for tomorrow.
Do you think all the time that you've had on it, during the testing season for BSB, then the first couple of rounds. Do you think that's really helped with your progress?
It's definitely helped me as a rider as well as the getting gelling with the bike. So, like I said, we've spent a lot of time at the Supersport, at British Championship, and we've been doing reasonably well. So I think that's helped with the performance or the progress we've made so far this week.
We're sat next to the Fireblade. Let's talk about that. How much is it becoming a little bit frustrating, or are you just taking your time with it now?
It's
doesn't seem like it's coming easy.
No, it's not coming easy with this. No. It's I think if you ask anyone in the paddock, the bigger bikes are always the main issue or the problem. So we did a good thing tonight is we made a change and it was in the right direction. But it's still not 100%. And then I came in and stopped and made another change to go out on the second lap, and that same change again helped, for a little bit, and then it just same again. It's just not handling like we want it to. It's still, as I like to say, it's still handling like a bit of a pig, to be fair. But it's pleasing to know that we're going in the right direction, because you can be chasing your tail a little bit with these things. So well, fingers crossed. Like I said, we know where we're going, so we'll make another change and another step tomorrow, and hopefully we can go a bit better again.
Is it front end related? Because you won't have seen it. Well, you will have seen it because you were sat on the bike, but we saw it on the television. An unbelievably big moment. I think it was just before Rencullen. I think. Maybe.
Oh, yeah, it was. It was on the left-hand.
It was got on the telly.
Yeah,
it was massive.
I think what's happening is the rear's soft and it's squatting, and then it sounds really stupid because you'd expect that to be affecting the back, but when the rear squats, the front becomes light, and then it starts to skim. The front wheel just skims the floor, and it just starts tying itself in knots. So. Yeah. Like I said, we stiffened the rear from the previous night, and it felt better initially. But as the tank gets lighter, the fuel load gets off, the front gets lighter. So it's we're going in the right direction. But like I said, so I think my missus said actually about that moment. It's really weird because you completely forget about it. You've got to put it behind you and just crack on. But now you've said it and you reminded me where it was. Yeah, it was a bit of a scary moment, to be fair.
Let's talk about the little bike then. You've just been sat on it there, changing. Looks like probably changing the screen.
Yeah.
Anything really drastic other than that? Because that's not coming easy, is it? Really?
No. It's just it's obviously the same bike as what we've used, but obviously we've changed the bodywork on it a little bit, and the screen just tonight's my first lap on it, and the screen were just a little bit too low. So when you sat tucked up behind the bubble, my air vents on the RI helmet were just above the screen, so it's like sends your head off into a bit of a wobble, so a bit of turbulence thing. So I think if we can cure that, I could probably go like a little bit better. Because I could not blurred vision, but it was just my head was shaking around and wobbling around a little bit. So, but apart from that, the bike itself, like I said, it's what I've ridden for quite a while. So it's like I just said to Kev, I said it's I get on it, it's like an old pair of slippers. I like to say, I feel at home on it. It feels like my bike. I feel really, like I said, it's gone really well tonight. So we're making a few little changes to that again. So I think, like I said, with the British Championship, my style and riding's changed a little bit. So the suspension maybe a tad too soft on that as well. So we might end up altering that a little bit. But yeah, it's all in all, it's been I'm pretty pleased with how it's gone tonight.
How are the conditions out there? Because obviously it was freezing cold here. It looked really sunny and nice out in Ramsey. Yeah. And then Nathan was saying earlier that it was incredibly windy up on the mountain.
Yeah, on the mountain it were quite windy. And it's not a constant wind, it was like blowing and coming in a gust, should we say. So it can be a bit scary, to be fair, in places where you try and tip in and it's just blowing you offline. But apart from that, the circuit itself were pretty good. It were damp again in the places like on Monday night, but maybe not as bad. So but I said all in all, it were pretty good session, to be fair.
What's planned for tomorrow then? Little bike, or
we'll probably park the Super Twin up probably, and then maybe just take a lap out on that maybe on Friday or something. Then just this thing, I think the big girl. Just I want to, like I was saying to the team, it's if I can get, I know there's a lot more pace to come from it. If I can get it handling a lot better, a bit more confident with the thing. It's just like I said, it's not very nice at the moment, but it's one of them things when you come here. It's always one of them challenges, especially on the big bike. It's always hard to find a happy medium with a full tank and a light tank, and so we'll just keep working away. We've got a few more days before race, and we'll just keep chipping away, and we'll hopefully be there and thereabouts.
Spot on. Well, Jamie, thanks very much, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow after tomorrow night's practice.
Thank you very much.
So Nathan, day 2, day 3, let's recap from yesterday. Not a lot to recap, but were you probably happy that the session was cancelled because it wasn't the best conditions, was it?
Exactly, yeah. We kind of made a decision between my dad and Spider and the team, and we just kind of thought we'll go out, let the first top 20 go out, because we're out of the top 20 in the numbers, but we thought we'd let the top 20 go out and see what the sectors are like if it was going to run. And if they're like 5-10 seconds off the pace, the first couple of sectors, we weren't even going to bother, because what's there to gain? When it's a bit damp and sketchy, there's more to lose than gain, and you're not going to learn anything other than wear the bike out, more work for the team and everything. So yeah, we were going to see how it went anyway, but obviously as it went, it got worse, and there was, I was glad it was cancelled, and it was the right decision. So yeah, and obviously I had a great session then.
Let's talk about your great session then. I think 127.5.
Yeah, I think it was
like
somewhere there or thereabouts. Yeah.
Are you happy with that? Because to say you've only done a few laps, probably what, 3 or 4 laps tonight?
Yeah,
it's decent, isn't it?
Yeah, that was my first lap, my first stand and start lap. So I've done my 5 laps on my first night, and then straight into 127 from 123 on Monday, which I really can't complain at. Obviously, coming back from missing 23, the best. Obviously, I've said it before, the best weather there's probably been in a decade or whatever, and then had a little mishap in Spain and stuff, so to come straight back at that, and it didn't even feel like it either. I was just loving racing around the TT course on a great bike. So yeah, no, and it's a positive step forward. Obviously, if I've done that massive step now, obviously it's going to get harder. The steps are going to get harder, obviously, as the times get closer. So, but no, I can't complain at getting there. And like you say, we've got a few tweaks to make to the bike to make it a bit easier to ride, and hopefully we can just keep on chipping away slowly.
What are those changes that you want to make? Because I know you made a couple from Monday night to tonight. Did they help?
Yes, so they helped, but then because I've jumped from 123, they were only minor changes, because like we knew they were going to have to change it as me and the bike got quicker. But obviously I didn't expect to go such a massive jump straight away. So obviously I went in and it was a bit like soft, and the back was shaking a little bit. But that was to be expected, because obviously as you get quicker, you hit the bumps at a different speed, at a different way, and everything. So, but yeah, no. So we made a little change in between. I did the first lap, come in, did a little change, and then obviously went out, and it was a lot better.
How were the conditions out there? Because it was absolutely freezing cold in the assembly area, and it looked pretty windy up on the mountain.
Yeah.
So how were the conditions for you?
Yeah, I was saying that when we were going up there. I said, well, yeah, it's freezing, you wouldn't think it's June, but yeah, no, the wind on the mountain was strong. Like Brandywell, the mountain box, you could just feel it. You're tipping in, and it was just pushing you right in. So yeah, that wasn't ideal either. So I'm a bit cautious on the top, but yeah, no, it was great to just get a few laps in. You know where to kind of expect it. So you just ride around them areas.
What are the plans for tomorrow then? Have you made any plans just yet, or are you going to stew on it and then come back tomorrow and
yeah? So
from there?
The team, Spider and Richard from Max, and we got some notes down while it was fresh in my head, and we got a plan. I think we know what we need to do just to help make that bike that bit easier to ride. We did the change that we did in between the session, that helped corner entry. So we just need to sort corner exit now, and then obviously that'll help make my life easier and obviously make it a nicer ride.
What are you looking for from tomorrow? Have you got a speed in mind? Have you got a lap time in mind, or is it just slowly chip away at what you need to do?
Yeah, exactly that. I'm not going out saying, I want to do 128 tomorrow, or 129, or 136, because you've got to be realistic, and it's the TT course, and you can't really go chasing, especially at my point. I'm 25 years old, so I've just got to take it as it comes. And my whole role in this job this year was obviously you got Dean and John. Dean's there to obviously get the results, because he is a well-known podium man. He's not been off the podium in how many years, and there's John. He is on a crest of a wave at the minute. So my job is to kind of just keep taking steps and not jump the gun like I have been doing a little bit. And yeah, so basically next every night I just want to, even if it's 0.1 of a second quicker, just keep improving slowly, and then hopefully get 5 solid race finishes.
Spot on, Lee. Thanks very much, and we'll catch up with you hopefully after tomorrow's qualifying session.
Thanks very much.